Hey, it's Janae here to brighten, enlighten, and ignite your day. It's Transformation Tuesday, and I'm here with another edition of The Gist, helping you to get inspired and start your transformation. Today's resource is another book from none other Andy Andrews called The Little Things, Why You Really Should Sweat the Small Stuff. Now, this is Andy Andrews' newest book coming out this year. And as you can tell, I'm a big fan of his work. And one thing that I love is that he's really spent a ton of time looking at wisdom in the little things. In fact, he just talks about how he just tries to be a noticer, to look at things just a little bit differently. And so that's what's really great about this book, is it looks at some of the things we might always be looking at, but how do we just shift and look at it just a little bit different? So for me, the inspiration is this concept of one idea. And if you haven't quite figured out yet, I tend to be somebody who has a ton of ideas. I'm always inspired, and sometimes that can get very overwhelming. But here's what he has to say about this idea of just one idea. He said, even in the toughest of times, one idea can save the day. Now remember, in fact, each thing is one idea. In order to change your life, all you need is one idea. It's important that you really aren't lacking money, you really aren't lacking time or leadership, you're really only lacking one idea. So one idea can change everything. He says, one idea will change the world. You and I have seen one idea make billions of dollars. We've seen one idea save millions of lives. One idea can move you from where you are to where you want to be. So the inspiration is, what might be that one idea for you? All right, and the transformation is, for me, this idea about just one change. You know, in life, we're always needing to change and adapt, from little things to big things. And I love what he talks about change. He says, you know, in order to really change, there are two things that you always need. Okay, first of all, if you're trying to help somebody change or you change, you need to be able to always be able to identify what's in it for them. For sure, what's in it for them. And the second thing you need to provide is roof, no. You need to provide proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So what's in it for them and proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So in this book, he talks about how do you change a teenager's attitude or mind towards something. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. I have one of those and I could use some help around that. So he just has a really cool perspective on a conversation to have. And I'll just share a little bit of the opening, because it's definitely not how I've opened up conversations. And I'm thinking just a little shift in helping to get across these two things, you know, what's in it for him to change and what the proof is. But he says, hey, you know, I understand you're tired of hearing me talk. Sometimes I get tired of hearing myself talk. So give me 3 minutes and I won't talk anymore, at least for now. Okay, so here goes. I was thinking about this conversation that you had, and then he goes on to tell about what the situation was, but what are some of the future dreams that he has. Okay, so tying into what's in it for him, the value for his son. And then he said, okay, so let's now back up the proof beyond this. So for example, he says, I know you're not a disrespectful boy, but when you act like that and you talk like that, it can be disrespectful. And if you come across as disrespectful to your teachers, if you come across disrespectful at your job, etc., then you're not going to get the results you want, which are those future dreams. Okay, so he has a great example of the whole conversation laid out in this book, but I just thought, wow, that could really transform myself and how I communicate and those that I want to communicate to. So it's the little things that matter. So sweat the small stuff that really makes a difference. From my heart to yours, be love.